Got dork ass dog, little monkey butt. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Use of a Problem. It's Thursday nights after dark, and I am looking at my shirt, and these little fan blades look like swastikas. I don't think I can wear this shirt. It just looks like swastikas, and I don't like that. So we're going to take this shirt off, and we're going to go with the spaceman shirt underneath. We'll do that, because I don't like the look of this. Okay. No fancy shirt. Got the Air and Space Museum. That's what we're going to wear today. Okay. Seriously, how did I not see that when I put this on? Those look like little swastikas. I don't like it. Okay. Welcome. So, here we are. After dark. Erdogan's clinging on to life in Turkey. Apparently had a myocardial infarction, heart attack. Although, apparently it was with dinner with the Russians. So, all sorts of rumors coming out that perhaps that was poisoning. Something like that. The Russians love to do that stuff. I don't know why the Russians would poison him, though, because Turkey's been doing its best to kind of screw with NATO a bit, lean towards Russia. There was rumors that Turkey was going to try to leave NATO. But at the same time, like, Turkish defense contractors are supplying drones to Ukraine that are just whooping on Russians. A lot of ins and outs and what have yous on that one. Bed Bath & Beyond sent out a thing to shareholders saying, hey, we have an offer. But they haven't really expressed anything specific about that yet. No Labs last week announced that they have the data from their study being published in a peer-reviewed academic journal. And then Bazinga had an article today on how great that their system is working, and that they've got a live device coming. So that's good news for them. They're kicking up the PR to kind of stick it to white. What do they call White Diamond Research? Whoever this guy, the loser is, who was trying to short the heck out of their stocks. So those are good things. And I'm having a very brief moment where it feels like there isn't a truck driving through my face full of cedar pollen. So let's just gauge it. Let's see where it goes. We've got the Air and Space Museum shirt on. Yeah. So, whatcha! Hey! Alright, we're back and off. Monkey Butt thought she could distract me by making me scratch her butt while doing that thing, but I'm on top of it this time. Okay. I don't have anything else right off the bat to talk about. So, straight to the phones. Okay. Ego Moan's got party hats. Awesome. BOFH, tinfoil hat time. Do you think Erdogan was poisoned by Putin or someone in NATO who felt he was doing more harm than good and needed to be gone for NATO to succeed? Now, Turkey is one heck of a mess diplomatically. I have little doubt that the U.S. kind of nodded and gave an okay to supporting a coup there a couple years ago, which resulted in like the disappearing of some 60,000 dissidents in Turkey. Erdogan siege control even harder. So politically, Erdogan is an Islamist. He's a far-right theocratic authoritarian on paper, but is much more of an autocrat in general. Turkey has not been the best ally for anyone. When the Syria conflict kicked off, Turkey and Putin got into it. There was a jet that got shot down. and they're almost like fisticuffs. And all of a sudden, like a week later, they're like, "You're my best friend in the entire world, Russia. I love you so much." But there's military bases in Turkey. Turkey is part of the European Union, member of NATO. But Turkey also has runaway inflation that's cannot be stopped. It's not the first time in the last 15 years that Turkey's had runaway inflation, and they may have to like reissue currency to take care of it. But inflation's like 90% in Turkey, and Turkey is one of the most modernized industrial nations in the world. They're an industrial powerhouse, but it's not survivable if your economy's in ruins and your political system is garbage. And there's a lot of folks in Turkey that are much more Western leaning than they would be Eastern leaning towards, communist blocs and things. Like they see the benefit of having a strong economy, being out there in the world, being able to travel and see things and do trade and, receive imports from around the world. And I think in general, the population is just kind of like, well, we got a crappy government. We're going to make the best of it. Not much we can do about that, especially after the failed coup attempt. And it really could be anyone at this point. Like, the Russians might want him gone. NATO might want him gone. His people probably want him gone. It could be anyone in there. The Kurds want him gone. So if there is a poisoning, it's like an Agatha Christie novel. You're going to have to get everybody into a room and have Hercule Poirot go through and like tick off every single solitary motive from everyone and work through the entire system. Because outside of that, I'm not sure who to point a finger to, because everybody gets fingers pointed at them at this point. Let's see here. But yeah, so, I mean, Erdogan being gone is probably a good thing unless whoever replaces him is even worse, right? Like status quo, that sucks. Someone marginally improved, cool. Somebody worse, ew, shit, right? So, we'll have to wait and see. He's not dead yet, but it sounds like he might be, or really close to it. We'll see. We'll see where that goes. Can I read? Do you see any bright future once MOASS happens? Trying to find a silver lining from this impending depression. I mean, once MOASS happens, we're on top of the world, baby. I don't know what you'd be complaining about then, other than like, I have too many vacations and I don't know how I double booked my vacations. That's the way I see it. MOASS for yo ass, as one of our lovely viewers has as his name. I mean, I know what it's like to have problems as somebody who's po. I want to know what it's like to have problems as rich people problems. That'd be fantastic. Bring on some rich people problems. I'm willing to learn how to navigate that. I've had enough poor people problems throughout my life. So let's have some rich people problems. And Kelly Reed also wants to know, which stocks should I invest in for hedging against Canada's real estate? I mean, I mentioned a couple of these before, but like auction sites, estate sales companies, repo companies, shady collection agencies. So those are the folks who are going to be moving a lot more product through their companies than other ones. I'm not sure. Like the last time there's a housing collapse, houses they couldn't sell houses because no one had money. There's too many of them. Any attempt to try and like up the quality of your sale by staging and things like that didn't quite work because people just didn't care. And all the houses being sold were like underwater, being bank sold, short sales, you name it. So you got to find the seedy underbelly, I think, and see who benefits in those situations. And auction houses, auctioneers, those guys might be the ones benefit. And I'm not really sure entirely which ones are tradable. I don't know who owns auction.com. Who does own auction.com? Auction.com owners. A 10x company. Thomas H. Lee Partners. Okay. That's from Crunchbase. So 10x company. 10x. All right. LoopNet 10x. Let's see here. They have stock or they're private. No, it's 10x. That's not what we're looking for. Not 10x. Not 10x. Let's see here. You guys can watch me internet search because that's more fun than anything, right? Come on. Come on. Here. Minus 10x. They might still be private. Yep, they're still a private startup, so you can't get any stock in them. So the last round, they got acquired by CoStar Group. CoStar have 1.2 billion in valuation 2014. CoStar Group. Huh. So information systems. So anyway, these apparently 10x CoStar Group, they are the owners of auction.com. Oops. No, I don't want. Just go to auction.com. Ah! So this is where you often find all sorts of distressed properties for sale. And I'm sure these numbers are going to start growing and growing and growing. So here's a big ass house. 5 bedrooms, 6,000 square feet in Seattle. Rink. What do you got for me? Tell me what you're all about, baby. Okay. Does it have a price? Price is not set yet. Date 19th. In-person and/or remote bidding. Okay, well, no price has been set. That's a mansion in Seattle. 6,000 square feet on 31st Avenue South. That would be Beacon Hill? Somewhere around there. But yeah, you're going to get more and more properties showing up on auction.com as more distressed properties happen. I know Julius in Miami is always looking at places. Let's look at Miami Beach condos and just see what they're starting to do right now. Because the last time around, when the economy collapsed, you could get, in like 2010, 2011, you could buy a penthouse Miami Beach condo that came with a boat slip for like 40 grand. So there's a few of them, but in 2010 there was 50 on this site. So let's see here. 1 bed, 1 room, 1 bath. Not happening yet. Opening bid 150 for a 1 bedroom. Still not quite there yet. How about you? 2.9 million estimated. So the place like this one right here, this would have gone for $50,000 10 years ago at auction. So this is a penthouse. This is a 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath, and a big condo. So the bad stuff isn't quite happening yet, but we are seeing more green pop up than were before. It's when you see a couple dozen in like Miami Beach itself on the little on the island, then you know shit's the fan. I'm not sure if they do. Do they do Canada? BC? No, they don't do Canada. They only do the US. I don't know what the auction.ca. Nope, they don't have a Canadian equivalent. So, Monkey, do you know? She doesn't know. All right, we'll find some Canadian equivalents. Meow meow. Will Tucker move to Russia to be with his boyfriend now that he has no job? I think Tucker. Did you see the little 2-minute, 16-second video of nothingness that he put out? He basically did the whole like, the right and the left are exactly the same thing. I'm going to offer something new. Various platitudes that mean nothing. Truth is important. And then he ends. My guess is that he might throw his hat in the ring and run for president. I mean, he already said that he hates Donald Trump's guts in those texts that got revealed during the Dominion case. So he's got nothing to do right now. He's not running for anything. He's got a whole bunch of brainwashed viewers who are like, Tucker. So he could do quite well. And he's not really afraid of poking the bear. But in the end, you know, it's really, really, really hard for someone to tell Trump that he's full of shit for some reason. The last election, this 2016 election, you had 20 Republicans up there, and Trump just ate their lunch by just being a wild card the entire time. So can Tucker be that wild card too? I don't know. We need Tucker to go to Russia to interview Putin orally. Okay. I did get an offer from Russia Today to be a host on their TV network, so maybe I'll take it. I don't know. It also got revealed that Fox had been losing a ton of money on Tucker's show because of advertising boycotts. So he may have had the #1 show in cable news, but advertisers were not advertising. They only could find small time advertisers. They couldn't get the big money. So even though it was the #1 show, they were losing money on it every single night, which gives a testament to how powerful boycotts can be. Yeah, it's interesting. BOFH, I love how executives can announce a stock buyback, then mention AI at least 60 times in their earnings call, and suddenly their awful earnings are forgiven and their stock skyrockets. It's pretty amazing how that works, right? We're doing $1 billion stock buyback, and we're starting a new program looking into AI development to facilitate future needs for our product lines and synergistic subverting the dominant paradigm, whatever they might say. I mean, what would happen if AMC announced tomorrow that they have a new AI division? Like, if Adam Aaron came on, he was like, everybody, we have a new artificial intelligence unit here at AMC Theaters, developing artificial intelligence entertainment packages and systems. People throw money at them for no reason. So by all means, use that idea. Pay me a commission. It's just like the companies that just threw like blockchain into their names. There was one. What was the list? There was like a it's like a restaurant chain or something, and they changed their name to like NFT or blockchain, and they got a valuation that was like $1 billion, and they made sandwiches or something. Just they had nothing to do with blockchain. They're just like, well, this is how you do it. So by all means, have at it. Use the AI in everything. Doesn't matter if you actually use AI or not. You can make it called AMCI. I don't know. BFH, anyways, I'm headed to bed. I will listen to the show Saturday when I'm driving back to my parents to celebrate my dad's 60th birthday. Happy birthday. BFH is dead. Guitar Stuff, hey, Houston, happy birthday. Hello, Guitar Stuff. Have you heard Girk's theory that FRC hold inflation swap hedgies, and that's why the big boys are trying too hard to keep it from failing? I had not heard that. Interesting. So who would get stuck with that bag if First Republic goes under? Because I don't know. Will the U.S. government get stuck with that bag? If so, that's shitty for the taxpayers. I'd be curious to see. I'll have to check that out. If anyone has links to what Girk was saying about that, I'd love to check it out. Peterson 9. Hey, Houston. Thoughts on the petition to compel for FINRA to produce the blue sheets? Is there any chance the timing of it where they have had 5 months to change the numbers and they have conspired? Changing the numbers is going to be really, 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 really hard, because if the blue sheets get released, and there's going to have to be all sorts of redacting because there's personal information and stuff that can't be released in the blue sheets. So we may have to go to some sort of special master who redacts things. But if it is released, you can then submit data from individual brokerages to compare. So you get this blue list of all the trades, all these brokerages, all these people making trades, and you can be like, okay, here's a whole bunch from eToro, right? So eToro, you give us your list, and you look at them, and if they're different, someone at FINRA is going to prison for falsifying evidence. So I don't think there's anybody at FINRA who's willing to go to prison for this. Like, their boss is like, well, I need you to doctor this data. And they're going to be like, okay, we know what's up. All those guys are lawyers and CPAs and all sorts of things that have to do all sorts of, deal with legal ramifications of what they do. So I don't think that they would doctor that, simply because it'd be really hard to find someone willing to go to prison for doctoring it. They're reluctant to release it because they know that's going to show what a shit show it was. And that's the reason why they're avoiding releasing it, is that they didn't do their job and they didn't regulate anybody. Matter of fact, they caused damage by not regulating or putting their thumb on the scale for those causing damage. And that's where we're going to end up. Meow meow. IMBER space TURD is WAORE. What? I am BEIA. I am BEA space T URD WAORE. Imbia 2 adware. Imbia 2 adware. Imbia 2 adware. Imbiab 2 adware. I have no idea what the hell you're trying to say. All right. Geminius T-shirt Houston doing it for me. Glad I could help out. Jason Blackwell, Houston. What's the difference between a hooker and a drug dealer? A hooker can wash her crack and sell it again. And you're seeing me age right before you all. Amber. Amber? Oh, Amber. Amber to oddware. Amber to oddware. Amber to oddware. 2UR. Amber turd. Oh, R turd. Amber turd. Where? Amber turd where? Amber turd where? Amber turd. Amber turd where? WAOH. Oh, H. That's where this A. WHO. Amber turd hole. Oh. I can't fucking. Dude, I don't have brain capacity today because I'm full of pollen. Yeah, I can't solve mysteries right now. Yeah. All right. Connor Nee, do you think Cohen will buy GME again? I mean, he can buy up to like 9% more of the company if he wants to. He just hasn't yet. He did the 100,000 share buy last year, and that pumped the price like $100. Waiting to see where it goes from here. Space share everything to do with space? No, it's Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum. It's the only Smithsonian museum I've been to, and it was awesome. So I highly recommend it. Nick Godaro, that shirt was 9 out of 9. Aaron T, hey bud, it's been a while. Like the YouTube algo is screwing with you because I don't get any notifications anymore. My mom complains to me all the time. She's like, I didn't get a notification that you were doing a show. I have no say over whether notifications go out. Hit that bell. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. I've got a few channels I subscribe to, and very rarely does it let me know that a show is happening when they do it. And then for some reason, there's channels that I never subscribed to in my life. And it's like, hey, this show's happening. And I go, and I don't know who they are or what videos they made. It says I've subscribed to their channel. No, I did not subscribe to whoever this is. So YouTube, I think, is just going crazy. You hear that? Or one of my roommates is watching YouTube on the TV downstairs and subscribing to channels that make no sense. Because it ain't me. Chris Collins made it. Woo! Scott Lumley, Houston. Just out of curiosity, if you had $500 to spare, would you buy No Labs or Acme right now? What No Labs do today? They got some PR out there. Is anything happening? I haven't looked. Come on, click clack KNW. They got some boosting. Not too much volume. Only 31,000 shares traded. So $1.41. They dropped down to as low as 82. They spiked again over $1 just this week, and then dipped back down again. My guess is they're going for another dip. So you can probably get 500 shares or so out of that. So why not? So seems like a good one. I don't think anything's going to happen with Acme Parent Company for a while until they get a sales team. So they got until September to get their stock price up. My guess is going to go lower for a little while now until they get their shit together. Citizen54. Yuan overtakes dollar to become the most used currency in China's cross-border transactions. Is this bad for the US dollar? How is it becoming the most used currency for cross-border transactions? Because China, as we had Huey Lee, we talked about Huey Lee, Dr. Huey Lee, he made a tweet thread talking about how China doesn't like having yuans outside the country because it allows rich people to get the hell out of the country and avoid China. But then again, China's setting up secret police stations all over the world to police people outside of China. So maybe they'll let the rich people flee and then just have their Chinese secret spy police capture them again. I don't know. But the dollar still absolutely dominates. Like, you have a bunch of Chinese yuan. What are you going to do with it? No one, you're not going to be able to buy a house in Monaco with it. You have to use euros or dollars to do that. You might be able to get some plastic crap from China. But, having 1 billion Chinese yuan is not the same as having like $100 million US, $150 million US. That just works anywhere in the world. So they may tease here and there, but in the end, the Chinese Communist Party does not want to let the Chinese rich people out of China. They want them tethered to China. That's why there's a $50,000 a year limit to how much money they can move out of the country. They do not want them to leave because they will drain that country of all its wealth, just like what happened to Russia. Russia, the powerful, were like, this place sucks. I'm getting out, and I'm taking all my money and the family with me. And they drained Russia. So the minute China, enters the global market for their currency, people are getting the hell out, and they will drain China of everything they have. So, it's going to be a tightrope they have to walk on that. Chris Collins, mention deleted. I tagged you in the motion for blue sheets just now. I saw that one. That was a motion in New York Supreme Court, which sounds really hoity-toity, but New York Supreme Court is just like a district court anywhere else. They just have a hoity-toity name. And the judge has 48 hours to make a decision. So hopefully Friday we'll hear. I'll probably do an after dark on Friday, so we'll talk about yay or nay, whether it worked. But they got the legal team that's doing the West Christian things for Berta and whatnot. They are Flamethrower, whatever they're calling themselves. So it's a, is it who was behind it, dude? DD, what's his name? I can't remember. But they filed. And there's a 48-hour window for the judge to say yes or no. So hopefully it says yes or no. Okay. Connor Nee. Do you see MOASS happening anytime soon? At this point, I have a feeling that MOASS is one of those things that we can predict, and then just one day it's going to happen. And as with the book of Revelation saying that no man can predict the end of the world, I honestly think no man can predict the moment MOASS is going to take over everything. I think when it happens, it's going to happen so fast, and we're just going to have to be like ready. Like taking grounders all day long just in hopes that you can play the hot corner and get one hit to you one day. That's where we are. Just got to be practiced and ready. So when it does happen, we don't panic. We do everything that's in the fire drill, and we're ready to go. So that's what I think. Purportedly stupid. Hey, Houston. Too late for me, so I'll catch it on the back end. In the meantime, what dirty act is Putin into? Autocratic asphyxiation? I think Putin is into probably all sorts of weird things, because you don't become that type of, all-powerful dictator without having weird things. I remember watching the Sochi Olympics. There was that little Russian girl who looked like she was about 10 years old, who was like the favorite for gold in figure skating. And Putin seemed really, 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 really interested in her. And that gave me the willies. I was like, huh. He's a dirty pervert. He's always had like lots of girlfriends. There's been rumors about young boys, but that happens with every Russian leader. They always have rumors about that stuff, like the Greeks. Right now, I don't think he can do anything about it. He's probably on so many cancer meds. I don't know if you read the reports that came out, and it could be true, it could be lies, but whatever it was fantastic subterfuge. But apparently, there was disturbance in the residence of one of Putin's mansions, and when one of his aides came in, he was naked on the floor. Oh no, sorry, he was in a wet white t-shirt, otherwise naked, wearing one black sock next to a soiled diaper, crying. It seemed to not know who he was or where he was, and he was like full-blown medication-induced dementia. So they're saying that he has thyroid cancer. He showed up, he had a big scar on his neck the other day. So now his double, who goes places, you have to have a scar on his neck. I don't know how much longer he has. There's been evidence he's got some degenerative disorder. It's causing him to like shake, but that could be medicine as well, causing that to happen. Autocratic. Autocratic asphyxiation. So I don't know how much longer he has. And, big leadership deaths happen in threes. So if Erdogan goes, who's next? Putin? And if Putin goes, what the heck happens to the Ukraine war? Because there's the power vacuum. And I'm thinking about, there's no named successor. There's no one's like, this is who's going to take over for me. Because Putin cannot admit that somebody's going to take over for him someday. So, anytime you've got a war going on, the leadership dies, all the generals and power players flee back to the capital, try and take power. And this is as old as history. I mean, the Mongols would have taken North Africa in 1245 or whenever it was they're in North Africa. There was several million Mongols in the Mongol horde. They had just wiped Baghdad off the map. They'd taken Damascus. They'd run roughshod across the Sinai Peninsula, and they were now about to take Cairo. And there was millions of Mongols. There's like 200,000 Mamluk, Turkish mercenaries to like guard Cairo, which was the last sort of bastion of the caliphate at this point. And the Mongols were going to just wipe the floor with them because that's what the Mongols do. You cannot beat the Mongols if they're going to run you over, because that's no one ever had that point. And Genghis Khan died. So Kublai Khan, all his cousins, brothers, they all went, oh, I want to become emperor now. And they all took a good chunk of their armies, went back to go fight over being ruler of the world. And then the Mamluks were able to whoop on what was left of the Khan army and stave off the Mongol hordes from taking over all of North Africa. I have a feeling that if Putin kicks the bucket, you're going to see that as well. You're going to see, what's the dude from Wagner Group, Pidsgroben, taken off. All these guys are going to jockey for position to become leader of Russia, and it's like becoming the leader of a corpse at that point. But it will eviscerate what semblance of leadership there is, and on the front, and then Russia's just going to get steamrolled, and that'll be that. So, die Putin. Okay. Anna Rulnick, Houston. Today I got a Bed Bath & Beyond coupon in the mail with a 5/20 expiration date. Bullish. Didn't they say they're only going to take coupons until like the 17th or something like that? Bed Bath & Beyond shoppers rush to use all those coupons. So they have to use them by... Let me know. Tell me. Over the next... There was a date they said, and this newspaper article is not telling me. Oh my gosh. What a terrible article. You can't even put that in your lead. Why can't you guys say what is wrong with these newspaper articles? Bed Bath & Beyond coupons, Bed Bath & Beyond coupons, Bed Bath & Beyond coupons. My God, how useless are these articles? Company stops taking coupons when? We'll stop accepting coupons on Wednesday. Oh, so that was today. I thought it was next week. Well, there you go. So that won't work for you unless a buyer comes in and takes the company. If they don't, well, then those coupons are worth as much as my stock, which is nothing. I see a dog in the corner of my eye who wants a blanket. There you go. William Boer, thoughts on Alpine's dismissal? I haven't heard anything about Alpine's dismissal. You may have to send me something because I'm not seeing anything pop up in news about Alpine dismissing or getting anything dismissed or anything. So send that to me, William Boer. Steve, Houston, I think we need a federal lawsuit brought against AMC over their selling to Anterra so that maybe we can get a judge to order a share count. What do you think? I mean, there's already a lawsuit going on. It's not a federal lawsuit, but it is a lawsuit in Chancery Court, which is a federal court. They announced the number of shareholders. They did not announce the total share count out of that. When Adam Aaron and AMC have done a share count in the past, they did not request data from brokerages. They just counted how many shares did we authorize. Oh, we've only authorized this many shares. That's how many shares are out there. No, that's not how it works. You have to go to all the brokerages and say, how many shares you got? And they go to their computer, and then you go, oh, I have 4.6 million in my account. And you go to the next broker. How many do you have? I have 345 million in mine. You go to the next one. When you add that up and you go, oh, this is how many shares they think exist. We should only have this much, but this is how much is out there. And no matter how many times Adam Aaron's like, we did a share count over and over and over again. Well, it's only how many shares we authorized. We're not asking how many you authorize, you dumbass. We're asking how many exist. Like, real or unreal, how many exist? Because we know people have borrowed and sold. So now there's two people claiming ownership, the one who lent and the one who purchased the new share, right? How many? How many? And he's just never done that. So perhaps that's something you can nudge the folks who are suing currently in Chancery Court over this. Why not? TKK, good morning from Denmark. That's really early for you in Denmark. Welcome. What happened with Evergrande? Evergrande. They're 2 cents. They're at they're at nothing. They do not exist. China Evergrande Group, they were at 2 cents. They are now at 1/20th of 1 cent. So, hey, they were at 0.2. So they are in dead penny stock land. They were as high as 10. Goodness gracious. What a fortune you made shorting it at 10 cents. That's crazy. Short 80 kajillion shares at 10 cents and then let it die. Not too shabby. How high were they? 5-year max. $4 in 2020. Looks about the peak of it was $4 or so. $4 and change, and then just nothing. They owe hundreds of billions of dollars, and they cannot pay any of it back. So, I think they are pretty much on the I cease to exist tract, and that's where they're going to be. Is not existing anymore. Chris Collins, my husband's family brings us random decoration crap, some only mildly hideous, some that creates nightmares. Can't speak for all Latinos, but this lot love knickknacks and are completely complete abuela. So, when I was in school, I was living in the hippie house, the really shitty Hare Krishna commune. I was renting from them, and it was a nightmare. And then met this dude in my strong program. He was living in a house like a top, on bottom. And he was like, hey, I'm living in this guy's house. We had to kick out the renters below because they brought a cat in. They weren't supposed to have a cat. The cat had fleas. So I talked to the landlord. He's living in Thailand. And if you want, and if you clean the house and you get rid of the fleas for us, you can move in there. It'd be great. So that's what my friend and I did. We shampooed the hell out of that place. We bombed it. We did everything. We got rid of the fleas. Perfect. Gave us first month rent free. Got to live there. So we were there for, 10 months or so before the original landlord came back. Kicked my friend out. Landlord's living upstairs. But when he came back, our friend who was living in the upstairs part of the house, he had furniture and all these things, and when he moved in, there was like tons of these precious moments figurines, like the little ceramic ones of like children playing and donkeys or whatever, bunny rabbits, just hundreds of them on every surface of the house. And he was like, "This has got to go because I'm never going to get laid if this is in my house." So he put them all in a box and shoved them in the garage, and the landlord came back. He's like, What'd you do with my figurines? Where are they? They're gone. And he's like, my friend is brilliant. He was like, I was really scared that someone was going to injure your figurines. So I put them safely in a box and I stuck them in the garage just for safekeeping because I didn't want to be responsible for the safety of your figurines. And he was like, oh, that was a really smart idea. You're a smart man. Tchotchke, man. I got books. I got some tchotchkes over my shoulder here. Bam. But that's it. Those are my tchotchkes. That's everything you see there. That's all I have. I don't have. This is the closest thing to a Precious Moments figurine I have, which is a plastic mold of a horse that was sold to me, swearing that it was pure jade, and it is straight up plastic. So I have this as a reminder to me that everyone likes to swindle, and this is not even remotely close to pure jade. It is a plastic horse, and it sits right there, looking at me, calling me an idiot. Idiot. That's what it does. All right. Or was I? Okay. DDEF. Go to the county site. Oh, talking about auction prices, votes owed to the homes. Yeah. Show the amount owed. Yeah, just pump in. Go to the county site. You pump in the plat number, whatever you want to call it, and it'll show you how much in back taxes there are, etc. Some of these are bank sold homes that are on auction.com, so it won't necessarily say how much is owed in taxes, but you might be able to find out from the bank what's owed on the mortgage, and that's usually the starting bid, unless they're doing a short sale. So I've got a sneeze. It's about to build in my head, and it's starting to make my eye twitch. Come on, just sneeze it out, Houston. You can do this. I spent like 2 hours yesterday on the cusp of sneezing and just never sneezed. Why? I can make myself burp. I can fake a yawn. Why can't I fake a sneeze and be satisfied? Like, why does it have to be an authentic, real sneeze, and it can't just be like me faux sneezing to fool my brain to thinking I sneezed already? Oh, so much pollen in this world. Florida's still a seller's market. That it is. Iggy Lamone, I feel like there's always at least one person who's a bringer of knickknacks in a Latino family. I do love some of the knickknacks you'll find. Like, there was a shop in the mall that played really heavily to the Latino population here, that just had some of the most marvelous. You'd find like Lady Gaga religious candles, or like discotheque lit technicolor murals of like Jesus riding a donkey into Jerusalem. Just the weirdest, wildest things. And I am all about that kind of kitsch. I would, if I could have a spinning Jesus mural on my wall somewhere, just discothequing it up, sign me up. I would take it. Chris Collins, we are minimal tasteful gaze. It's getting tough to keep hiding stuff. You're gonna need another bedroom in your house that's just for knickknacks. It's gonna be knickknack storage, and just keep the door shut. But when family come and visit, you open the door and be like, look, our knickknack room. Novoplex, he's not running for president. That's nonsense. You did not see the speech. That speech is, I'm putting feelers out there to see how I do in a Republican primary. That's what that was. Chris Collins. Last thing was a hideous wooden woman pot. I image search. It's an African voodoo pot. Thankfully, they offered it at their flat, and we managed to avoid that coming anywhere near ours. You're like, oh, thank you so much. And they just conveniently forgot it behind. That's how you do it. You have to come by and pick up your thing. Oh, yeah, totally. And then just never come back. In a rule, Nick, New York Times article came out tonight that Tucker was fired because of really offensive redacted text that Fox was afraid would be released during the Dominion suit. Oh. Well, they may have to release them with the other lawsuit that's happening over the voting machines. What's that company called? I don't remember. I'm totally sundowning right now. I'm like an old man full of cedar pollen. What was the name of that company? I don't remember. I don't know. But my guess is that the next guys will be like, you know, those texts you didn't release in the first time around, we want them. Bring it as part of our discovery. Brian Strangelove, I was a couple minutes late. Saw no fancy shirt, rewound. That shirt didn't last long at all. Yeah, it just didn't. Once I saw it on myself, I immediately was like, am I wearing swastikas? And it looks, I mean, I mean, they're not exactly like it, but it's just too much. That's got too much swastika look to it. I don't feel comfortable wearing this. Who makes this? Who is the maker of this shirt? There's a company called Travelsmith. It's from Malaysia. 100% cotton. I know that swastikas mean different things, different cultures, but I just don't feel comfortable wearing that. And I don't know how I never noticed it until I put it on and saw it on camera. And I was like, oh, yeah, we're not wearing that. Yeah. Okay. The other thing, Forbes wrote an article about MMTLP. Did you guys see that? It was just the shittiest article. They cite that professor dude who was trying to pretend like he was one of us and he's working against us. It was dog shit. In the first paragraph, it was like, look at these idiots. What a bunch of morons, am I right? And that was pretty much the whole article. It misrepresented the facts in the case. It misrepresented FINRA's role in it. Misrepresented the SEC's role in it. The broker dealers, the short sellers. It's basically like these guys are a bunch of whack jobs, and there's a lady who dresses as a bird. Isn't that crazy? You just don't worry about them. And that was the Forbes article, and it was trash. It was a trash article by a trash person. And someone did some DD and found that this same author had cited the same professor in multiple articles in the past, all trashing shorted stocks and stuff. So it looks like they got themselves a gambit. Looks like this is what they do. They try to lend some gravitas to the short sellers and then stick it to everyone else. So, you know, Forbes, swivel on that. Michael Mystery, only 500-piece puzzles make Houston happy. I do like 500 pieces. I like giant puzzles. I can knock out a 500-piece puzzle in an hour and a half. I can, yeah. I can do a little more than an hour on Microsoft Jigsaw because I don't have to worry about flipping the pieces over. It's already flipped over for me, which cuts down half the time right there. I do like big giant puzzles, especially like puzzles of cityscapes. Those are my favorite. I love cityscapes. I love putting together all little buildings and be like, oh, and then for some reason the buildings stick in my brain, and I like putting together cityscapes. BTW brand. I checked Houston's Twitter, refreshed YouTube, saw no Houston going live messages, went to the bathroom, just the thermostat, sit back down in Houston. It's 8 minutes. There it is. Check back. Houston's 8 minutes into the show. So sneaking up on you. Didn't give you much time. I think I only gave like a 10-minute heads up that I was doing a show. Again, I'm at 50% right now, and I've got another sneeze building. It's just not. Come on, bright light, hit me. I'm staring at you. Nothing's happening. It's just like the sneeze build up in your brain and it's not coming. It's just like if TV static could somehow be inside of your sinuses. That's the feeling it happens. And who's messaging me at 10 o'clock at night? Oh, someone I'm going to go for a walk with on Saturday. Okay. And Rollnick, Houston. Do links in chat get deleted, or did a mod delete the link I sent to the New York Times article? That only mods and myself, for some reason on YouTube, are allowed to send links. I don't know how else to allow that to happen. You may have to like message it to me via Twitter or Reddit. Otherwise, you won't be able to see links. It's something, I think it's to keep the porn bots down from spamming live chats. Geminius. I wouldn't be surprised if the YouTube code is patchwork together, and even the YouTube engineers have no idea what's going on half the time. Yes. Michael Mystery, you can have more than one YouTube login for a second user in the same house. That's true. I think I'm the only one on the TV downstairs, so they're screwing with me. Okay. Steve, hey Houston, have you seen the movie Titanic, The Shocking Truth? I have never heard of it, so no, I've not seen it. Is it a conspiracy movie about Titanic? Does it have to do with aliens? It's not a good sign that not even YouTube, not even Google is trying to autofill that. TV program, Titanic, The Shocking Truth. Everyone knows Titanic was stuck on an iceberg. Main voyage, however, this film provides evidence Titanic that it was not the Titanic that sank. Okay. Everyone knows Titanic was stuck on an iceberg and sank on the main voyage. However, this film provides evidence that it was not Titanic sank, but Titanic switched for its sister ship, the Olympic. The Olympic was damaged. Oh, really? Is that so? Badly when it struck the warship HMS Hawk. The Olympic's damage was so serious it could not pass inspection. What transpired was insurance fraud. So that's nay. So where'd everybody go? Where'd they go? Where did they go? People, where'd they go? I mean, I don't want to put anything onto this, but they took like the Olympic label off the Titanic and put the Titanic label onto it or something like, or took the Olympic label off the Olympic, put the Titanic label on it, then shoved it out to sea and then killed a bunch of people. It's great insurance fraud if you're going to do it that way, I guess. So, no, I've not seen it. Jethro, Houston, just ate souvlaki from the food court down the street. It was really not good, and the lady running it was rude. I still have a tip, now I regret it. How do I short this lady's food cart? I mean, the easiest way is just to like tell people it was gross and she was mean, and people stop going. It's amazing how word of mouth works when it comes to a restaurant. There was a very busy restaurant in town, and word came out that they were having flooding problems in their kitchen of like raw sewage, and it got verified that yes, raw sewage was flooding their kitchen constantly, and they're still making people food illegally in standing poo water. And then people stop going to the restaurant. It's amazing how that works. You just talk about something truthful and why you shouldn't go, and people just stop going. And if it's bad souvlaki, you know, you're probably going to feel it later. So that's another reason. Okay. Anthony Liang, 25, will BBBY keep tanking? Probably. At this point, if you're going to play anything with Bed Bath & Beyond, it is pure speculative hopium. And I give it a 50-50 chance either way. You know, that a buyer comes along, saves the company, cool. Stock goes right back up again. Or they don't get a buyer in time, and the stock turns into a Q stock and just disappears forever. Either way, the people who want it, but I don't know if they'll meet the criteria for the courts or the debtors to get that done in time. And if they don't get it done by like June, was it 5th or something, then that's it. Bed Bath & Beyond will cease to exist. So if you're going to play it as complete, all-in bluff, because that's how you got to treat it, and hope that the bluff wins. So, I mean, if the price gets down to like a penny by the 3rd, right? You could buy 10,000 shares for $100. That's, to me, that's worth a gamble, right? Yeah, sure, 10,000 shares. Why not? Works for me, right? But you have to be willing to lose that $100 and be like, okay, well, I'm saying goodbye to this $100. This is an entertainment expense at this point, and I'm going to sit back and imagine that my 10,000 shares are all of a sudden worth $30 each again. Okay, that thought experiment was over. That was $100 of experience. So that's how you gotta treat it. There's no guarantees. They could be vaporized in 5-6 weeks and then not exist anymore. And what are you gonna do? Well, that money's gone. It's in a stock you can't get rid of, and cool. So, but if a buyer comes along, they did all right. But do not do one of those I'm putting my life savings into this thing type stuff, because no guarantees whatsoever. There's no guarantees in any stock you play, but this one has a very, 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 very big negative side, which is death. Okay. Guitar stuff. The FRC bag holders in Girk's theory are the big banks, as they would be the counterparty. Think all the big banks who suddenly deposited into FRC last month. That's why they're desperately trying to keep them afloat. It's because they don't want to be stuck with the bag. Do you think there's a bailout? Seems like they're dead to me. If a mid-level bank can't survive getting a $30 billion cash infusion, then they're dead. So FDIC is gonna have to seize them. They'll probably seize them Friday. So what the stock do today? It was at $11 yesterday, and then FRC stock. Just gosh dang it. So it halved today. We're down to $5, $5.69. Okay, so 5 days. Yeah. So it was at $16 on the 24th, and it dropped to $4.92 as of this morning, and finished out after hours at $5.69. So it halved. It was pretty steady at the $13 level for a while. Had peaked at 16 on the 24th. That was the highest. But before that, yeah, pretty steady for a month. I mean, it was $147 on February 2nd. Oh, what a great short that would have been. Oh, my goodness. And then dropped off a cliff. Look at this. Look at this beautiful thing. Pretty steady, 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 steady. Little peak February 2nd. Jim Cramer says, First Republic's awesome. And then just crapped its diaper. Just bronk. So on February 2nd, I bet you could have bought like $100 put for pennies for like May 1st or something, May 5th, whatever it would be. And that sucker would pay you out $10,000 for probably was like $1 put. Oh well. Good job to anyone who did that. Good job. BBBY brand, the MMTLP crew posts every move they make in advance, easy to counter all their work. Flamethrower, as they like to call themselves, are so secretive, no one is sure they actually exist. Someone was tweeting about that earlier, pointing out the Sun Tzu thing about keep your plans so airlock tight. No one knows what you're doing. And when you strike like thunderbolt. So yeah, but you know, a lot of the MMTLP people are in court. So whatever they do is going to be public knowledge anyway. So if you're doing stuff in court, there's nothing else that gets all public information. Eagle Mo in Houston, I don't think Mark Basile is affiliated with West Christian or Flamethrower. He said he did it for someone else. It's in the petition. No, I think it's definitely for somebody else. But I think his law firm and researchers are still attached. It's just a different client in a tangential or parallel thing. Brandon Cowells, what's the latest with Bed Bath & Beyond, and what should we expect going forward? Not sure it's worth holding the stock much longer. Thoughts? That's the thing. Because you have until the 3rd to hold the stock. Decide if you want it or not. I bet the price goes lower. So 50-50 shot. Do they get saved? Do they die in obscurity? That's the chance you're taking. So hold on to it or let it go. At this point, if you hold on to it and it dies, then you have your tax write-off for the year. If you hold on to it and it thrives, then you have yourself vacation money and or more. Take it that way. I'm going to view what I currently have, my 1,000 shares and my lost calls that have already expired and got me nothing. I'm going to view that as my tax write-off for this coming year. If it dies, and if it does get to like a penny, you know, I might gamble at some. But then again, total crapshoot. There's some very powerful parties at play who want Bed Bath & Beyond to die a horrible death. And there's some moderately powerful parties at play who want Bed Bath & Beyond to stick it to those other powerful parties. So we'll see where it goes. Snowboard 1201 Houston sent you a tinfoil DD on a DM on Twitter. Get a chance to read it. Not yet. Where on earth is my... Close it. Which one? I have 500 messages here. Look, is Snowboard the same name? Go here. Got search messages. Snowboard. Nope. I don't have anything for Snowboard. I don't know what Twitter name is. I don't know. I may have not. I have no idea. Michael Mystery Monkey Butt is still in recovery from all the meat sticks yesterday. There's a lot of meat sticks yesterday. I made some pad thai earlier, and it's pretty spicy. And I let her lick the bowl, and I think she was like, woo, on that. I was hoping to clear my face, but it didn't really work that well. Common sense beats intelligence. Is Adam Air including with Anterra to help naked shorts close? Legal. Not a clue, but everything he does seems to help those who are shorting in the end. So I don't necessarily, if it's not conscious on his part, it certainly is stupid. So take that as you will. He beat the Bucks, says Jim. Oh, how's the Kraken game going? Oh, goodness. I did not. Kraken score. Holy shit. Kraken won. All right, 3-2. It's been 3-2 every game so far. I think it's been a 3-2 score. So Kraken are up one game. They can knock Colorado out, but is this game in Colorado? Next game in Colorado? Okay, so even without the top scorer, who's completely like concussed, they won the game. Awesome. Cool. All right. Way to go, second-year team. Oops. I didn't mean to click on that. I'm going to click on there, 32. Okay. KYP says that's because he doesn't believe synthetic shares exist, referring to Adam Aaron. Yeah, Adam Aaron has not. He's like, there's no such thing as fake shares. Shut up, dude. There are. And you know it. You know it. I know it. Bob Dole knows it. We all know it. Lee Meadows is awake early in the UK. Awesome. Andrew Dowell. Morning, Houston, from the UK. Another UK person. Have you seen Anterra filing? They sold Ape at $1.54 and bought 1 million AMC. Interesting. Sounds like they want voting power. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know why you'd sell Ape and buy AMC and not do it the other way around. Because to get 1 million AMC, you have to sell 3 million Ape. And if it's going to combine, the 3 million Ape will be worth 3 million AMC in the future. So I'm not really sure what they're hoping to do. Oh, the Emperor has emerged. There she is. Emperor Palpatine. Hello, how are you? Is it a little warm in there? Getting a little warm down there? Huh? Yeah? Oh, you're just a good dog. Yes, you are. You're a good dog, monkey. We went for a hell of a walk today. She was just so amped. I feel like I went to the gym. Just there are bunnies everywhere, spring, and she wanted to just murder all sorts of things. And it was just an epic workout. Having that muscle-bound freak yank me around all over the place. Just squirrels and bunnies everywhere. Okay. Resetting the chat. Why do you always do this to me? Okay. There's the playoffs thing. That can of spam is a collectible. This is a highly collectible can of spam. And it's 20. When I get it, it's a 28-year-old can of spam. 28-year-old can of spam. I mean, who do you know has a perfect mint condition 28-year-old can of spam on their shelf? Not many people. Me and probably some weird preppers who died in their sleep and their family never knew about their underground layers. Don't let a kid know that spam to pop the seal. No. Fabrizio, turn on my iPad's auto-playing Houston. Well, it's a good iPad. Chris Collins, Houston, I have that weird genetic trait of looking at bright light sources causes sneezing. Photoreflexive sneezing, as it's called. Leaving a building annoys my husband. On a sunny day, he just keeps walking. Yeah, I can get photoreflexive sneezing. Sometimes it triggers. Sometimes it, oftentimes, like right now, it didn't do it. But I also have one related only, not for any other kind of chocolate, but only for the milk chocolate Hershey's makes, like a Hershey Kiss. One Hershey Kiss, I automatically sneeze, and then I won't sneeze again if I eat more. But that first Hershey Kiss makes me sneeze every single time. It's very weird. I don't understand it. Probably has something to do with it being like fake chocolate and not real at all. But yeah, I mean, I got some Scott chocolates. That's chocolate up here. Let's see if Scott chocolate. I don't think Scott chocolates, milk chocolate make me sneeze. I remember doing that before. But it's worth a shot, right? Come on, Scott chocolate. There we go. These suckers are quite girthy. Oh. Nope. It's allergic sneeze. But there's a lot of chocolate. It's going to take me a minute. Okay. So much chocolate in one bite. Okay. Whew. Since 54, Forbes Australia has an article on MMTLP called The Wild Saga of the Meme Stock that's left thousands of shareholders with nothing. Yeah. Forbes, the article is bullshit. And you should have talked to somebody other than that stupid professor who's a lying sack of crap. Maybe you should have talked to the lady who dresses as a bird. Maybe you should have interviewed her first. Ask her about the situation because she could describe it to you in ways that Professor Buttmunch couldn't. James Angel, that's his name. Yeah. Chris Collins, James Angel called me a bot. Thinks we're crazy. The crowd started circling him. Yeah, he never responded to me when I pointed out that he has no idea what he's talking about. Even though I think I ratioed him on his tweet. Let's see here. See if we can find it. Go there. Go there. Okay, that's not popping. I think I get blocked by him. Where is he? I may have gotten blocked by him. He's not popping up anymore for me. Interesting. Am I spelling it differently? No, I'm spelling it right. Maybe it's Professor? James Angel. James Angel. Oh, nope. Wait, no, here he is. Okay. Found him. I didn't get blocked. So let's do this. Copy. Go like that. And the Houston. Wade. Oh, okay. I didn't do much. So he writes, it's not FINRA's fault. They had no choice. My prime suspect is the management who engineered a security design not to be traded. In order for security not to be tradable, it has to be registered at the DTCC. Ask management why has it done so. Hashtag MMTLP. And I wrote, what the fuck are you talking about? And then everybody else is in here like, yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, They don't have to register a DTCC. They don't want to be traded. They registered with the SEC. They didn't want to be traded. The SEC is here. DTC, everyone else falls under their purview. You register the top dog and say, hey, this stock's not going to trade. Then the SEC says, okay. And then everyone else follows suit. That's all you do. No, you don't have to register with the DTCC that you want your stock to be traded. You register with the SEC. And the SEC goes, cool. Well, we approve this merger. That's it. Done. They filed an S1 for it. The S1 was approved. Everyone else has to follow that. So, James Angel, you're full of shit, dude. This is, what, a month and a half ago? March 15th? Yeah. And it's 224 comments being like, what the fuck are you talking about? Over and over and over. Just one after another. Clowns. Yeah. Pointing out that the stock got traded by a third party illegally. Just one after another. Just pointing out that they knew there was fraud going on over and over and over. James Angel, you're welcome to come on the show here and we can repudiate you. But, you know, I'll send the invitation. Come on the show. Let me yell at you for a while and see exactly what it is you're up to because I don't trust it one bit. Okay. Michael, Mr. People are sticking around to count your sneezes. I only got one sneeze in so far. I feel like for the last 25 minutes, there's a second sneeze in here somewhere that wants to come out, and it's not happening. Says it before, the mouse sues DeSantis. This is about to get hilarious. Yeah. So, if you guys remember, DeSantis came out with his "Don't Say Gay" bill, and Disney was like, "Yeah, it's probably not a good idea." DeSantis was like, "Fuck you, mouse. You're gonna regret this. We're gonna take away your special improvement district." And Disney's like, "That's a pretty dumb idea. You're gonna be leaving billions of dollars in bonds with the citizenry. Just let us control these things." And DeSantis like, "No, you're screwed." Disney's like, "Your funeral, dude." So when DeSantis finally took over the district, the district leaders had held an open forum public meeting, notified everybody that they're going to be doing this, and passed a rule saying Disney can do whatever the hell they want with their property within the district. DeSantis was like, "Oh shit!" So DeSantis unilaterally has thrown out those contracts and guarantees, which is illegal because under the 10th Amendment you cannot do that as a state. So he threw those out. And within an hour, Disney had filed a lawsuit, which means Disney knows what a predictable moron DeSantis is, had the complaint already written and ready to go with source citation and everything else, and was waiting for him to be dumb enough to throw those things out. And then they're like, "Idiot, you've been served." So DeSantis is going to get whooped by the mouse again, and the state of Florida is going to owe Disney so much money. Oh my gosh. They're going to have to pay Disney through the nose. Like, when Disney gives, a couple years from now, Disney will be giving their quarterly earnings. They'll be like, "We have above and beyond earnings because the state of Florida messed with the wrong mouse, and Ron DeSantis had to pay us a small fortune. And the Floridians will be paying this off for the next 100 years. And that's basically what's going to happen. I don't know how Ron DeSantis got an Ivy League school. I don't know how he got an Ivy League JD. But that boy is one trick pony, and he's really, really predictable. Neti Pots. BBBY brand is telling everyone to use Neti Pot. My sister loves her Neti Pot. I somehow get it stuck in my brain, and I have not done well with Neti Pots. I can do a natural Neti Pot and go surfing and get tons of salt water stuck up there, and that will clear it out. But doing the whole, I have not managed to get that too successfully yet. Chris Collins says, "I can't do it. It'll wash out all the peas I've gotten lodged up there over the years." Competitive tobacco snorting. What? All right, people will do anything. BBBY brand with RC foaming at the mouth, wanting the baby wing of the company. Guess we get to see if he was all talk or actually wanted it. I mean, right now he can purchase it for less than the profits he made when he sold all of his positions last August. So, get it. Do it. Fling that poo. Why not? Raw. All right. Okay. I lost my spot again. Okay. RC question. Common sense beta intelligence is A being completely complicit with Anterra. Oh, you asked this one already. I answered it already. Unknown. Can't prove for sure. But he keeps making decisions that seem to help the short sellers. That's what it is. Okay. Darth Poopus. If Ape is declared illegal, what happens with our shares? Do they cash them out or do we lose them? It's not that Ape would be declared illegal. It's that the selling of Ape to Anterra would be illegal. And that is the question. Because there was a bylaw that says the board cannot sell more than 20% of the controlling interest of the company to any party, any single party. And they specifically went out, found a group, sold 300 million ape shares to them, and that was illegal. That's what the lawsuit is challenging. So it's not the apes themselves are illegal, it's that the sale of these apes to Anterra is illegal. Now, I have no idea what the remedy is there. None. I don't know how you delete that transaction. I don't know how you mitigate it. I have no idea. And considering that Anterra has lent out like at least 54 million of those shares to short sellers and has sold countless millions more, I have no clue what is. And they had a short position revealed this week, which we all knew they had a short position. But I don't know how the court's going to remedy it. I'm sure it's going to have to be some sort of weird creative decision if and when they do. But I am completely stumped as to how you rectify that. Billy Bram, my 20-inch box fan with a nice filter attached to the back would make pollen disappear in a home. I've got a recirculating air system with a HEPA filter attached to it, and it's just, I don't think you guys realize how much pollen is out there right now. We've had just pissing rain for months, and the trees normally, if sunny day happens in February, they start just jizzing all over the place. Sunny day happens in March, jizzing all over the place. We have not had the sunny days for months. And so the trees have been saving it. They've been saving and saving and saving. Then all of a sudden it's sunny for 3 days in a row and they're putting 2 months of pollen out all at the same time. And it is just bonkers. It's all, I think, ash and cedar. Just everywhere. And I hate it. My MOASS promise to myself, if I'm ever rich enough, I've said this multiple times, I will never spend another March and April in the Pacific Northwest ever again. If I'm rich enough, Monkey Butt and I are getting in a car or a plane and we're going somewhere where the cedar is already pollinated or there is no cedar to pollinate, and that's it. That's where we're going. Okay. J. King, Houston, morning to all. With AMC, the lawsuit, every person who sends a letter to the judge must show proof their AMC holdings and their brokerage along with the letter screenshot share count. Oh, I didn't know the judge was taking letters from people. But okay. Leroy Sockvibel. Can't go anywhere without seeing bots and shills. BBBY bankruptcy soon. Ha, probably. SP, doesn't your brain make you sneeze when you see light as an override? For people who don't know, you're not supposed to stare at the sun. I don't know the mechanics of it, but that's as good a hypothesis as any. Peachy Sunday, is it beneficial for RC to buy BBBY at this point? Yeah, I mean, you have a distribution network. You've got brand name. You've got brands themselves. They're established in relationships with manufacturers, making brand named products. You got sales teams. You got the whole works. So there's a benefit, and you can buy it for cheap, and you've got a multi-billion-dollar revenue stream from this product without having to build it from the ground up. So yeah, you definitely can, and you can buy it for pennies on the dollar. I mean, imagine companies in bankruptcy. They're going to jettison, probably $1 billion in debt, probably a couple $1 billion in obligations for leases they don't want to pay on anymore. And you go in and you buy everything for $50 million, right? $50 million, you can get this company out of bankruptcy, not have the debt obligations, maybe have some debt obligations on there, but nothing you can't handle at the moment on even a personal financial level. And you have a $5+ billion a year company for $50 million. That's pretty good incentive. Pretty good incentive to pull them out of bankruptcy. If you let it just die, then that's it. It disappears forever. But if you get them at the right time, sometime in the next 5 weeks, then the judge will go, yep, rubber stamp, debt discharge, new company, move on. It can be pretty good. Iggy Lemon, Houston are probably allergic, intolerant to the butyric acid in Hershey's chocolate. Very possibly. I don't know. The trees are literally shedding yellow-green clouds when a slight breeze hits them this time. Would think that's the cause. Yeah, it's just awful. Houston, the SEC is top dog. Then why was FINRA allowed to not show up to the meeting and allowed to do what they want to with MMT? Because SEC is top dog, but SEC isn't doing their job either. It's a whole lot of regulators not doing their job. Amazing how that works when you have a bunch of people from the financial services industry running the regulatory bodies. That's why we shouldn't have people who've worked in banks and finance and private equity, and they should not be allowed to work at the SEC or at FINRA or anything else. Should be nerds. Should have nerds. Nerds who like sticking it to the man should be the ones who run regulatory bodies, not the man. The man shouldn't be running them. Common sense beats intelligence. Anterra is a huge threat to the public shareholder of AMC and Ape. If the reverse split goes through with their holdings, they take a majority stakeholder of AMC and have the authority to print shares. Basically. I mean, there won't be a majority at the outset of the reverse split. They'll have like 30% of the company. It's when they print more shares to sell to clear their debt. And we know Adam Aaron, he's going to sell it directly to a short hedge fund. And Anterra's going to go, I'll take those shares, please. And they'll be able to fill the board with Anterra people and other short hedge fund people and do whatever they want with the company from that point forward. Which means they can sell their shares at a pretty good premium and then start shorting and shorting and shorting and shorting and shorting. And they can short that sucker down from $50 back down to zero all over again and make a fortune the entire way down. At current levels, the combination of, as of August, the combination of AMC and Ape had to be $23 for the shorts to be losing. Right now, the shorts are winning, and they're winning big. They're winning really big. They're up almost $20 per share on short AMC at this point. Cayento La Niño de Oro. Thank you for what you do, Senior Wade. Always enjoy the knowledge. Well, my pleasure. Even if it's, if I'm stuffy. I enjoy doing it as well. I'll quit resetting, dude. I'm trying to read and it just resets again. Okay, where was I? Okay, there's that one. There's that one. That one. Okay, we got through there. Ah, there's Cayetano. Sorry, I totally read that wrong. KYP, DeSantis is such a douche who threatens to build a prison next to Disney where tons of kids visit. Yeah, I know he's just making a joke to be like, I'm a tough guy, but it was dumb. You're a governor, dude. Act like it. Make sure you just don't get a brain-eating amoeba. That is a problem. People with Neti Pots have gotten brain-eating amoebas before. So you got to make sure it's totally sanitary. Been sanitized before you pour stuff into your skull. I don't recommend brain-eating amoebas. Since 54, Peter Thiel's pretending that he's not doing Republicans this year around. Yeah, Peter Thiel, the world's #1 James Bond villain, has spent the past few years pushing fascists through whatever method he could into campaigns. And now he's upset that all these fascists that he got elected are anti-gay and anti-trans people when he's a gay man himself. So now he's upset. He's like, how dare all of you put the focus on stripping rights from the LGBTQ community. I'm not going to give any money anymore. And this is one of those cue the leopard eating face off party reference. I never thought these face eating leopards would eat my face off. We could have told you that, dude. Actually, we were telling you that for months. Not only that, but your lover, who committed suicide recently, and there's a giant article about the mysterious circumstance of that, had been telling you the same thing. And there's recorded messages from that man talking to others. He's like, I've been trying to tell Peter that these people are going to kill him, that he's voting for folks who want to see him die because of who he is as a gay man. And Peter Thiel being like, no, they would never do that. Yeah, that's what they're doing, man. So I know you grew up with like white supremacist father and went to a white all boys school in South Africa, and your grandfather was a Nazi and all those things. But like, rather than embracing the family history of a bunch of assholes in your family doing horrible things to people all over the world, perhaps use what you've learned and take a lesson from it. And don't be a Bond villain. Instead, be a good person. Try Peter Thiel, try being a good person. Try being a good person for once. That's a thought. That's just me. That's what I would do if I had $18 billion in wealth and a media empire and a fledgling defense contracting company. I would just try to be a good person. You got a lot of money. You can do a lot of good things with it. Why keep trying to do the horrible things with that money? It doesn't make any sense to me. Just, I know you aren't watching me because you've got your own Rumble equivalent, but the people on Rumble, they might use your platform, but if given the chance, every single person on that platform will put you in a camp, and they would do a Roman salute the entire time they did it. So just Peter Thiel, just for your own self-preservation, just understand that they're not actually your friend. They're using you, and then when they get power, they're going to kill you. That's what they do. Okay. Okay. Are we still on a 30-minute lag? No, we're only at like 12-minute lag right now. So, I got 8 more minutes of show. I guess I just start at 10:45 or 9:45. I don't know. I'm in such a brain fog that when I get caught up to this thing, I might be done for the night. So, I mean, it's been like 35 minutes now, and I need to sneeze again, and my brain won't do it. Okay. BB Brand Houston Common Sense says go buy an $8 Carolina Reaper. Eat 1/4 of it. It'll fix you right up. I mean, the face will be clear, but there'll be a hole in my stomach. So there's that to worry about next. It's like, oh, my foot hurts, and someone punches you in the shoulder to make you forget about how much your foot hurts. Lee Meadows, I like the tinfoil idea that ICANN buys BBBY and sells Bye Bye Baby to Ryan. I think that's a very logical conspiracy theory. I do. I think it's very logical. It nets billions of dollars in wealth for both. The purchase of Bye Bye Baby would be enough to cover whatever debt BBBY has, which all of a sudden, if that company doesn't have to make any interest payments on debt anymore, they're profitable. Done. You start from the ground running. There goes the reset again. Just quit resetting. I like to be able to read things, dude. There was something. Way long bettings. You brushed up on the Ripple versus SEC case by now? Ripple versus SEC? No, I don't think I have. Ripple versus SEC. The cryptocurrency sector is still on the edge of its seat, waiting for the judge to pass the final decision. A widely publicized lawsuit between Ripple, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. Regulatory uncertainty has already started to affect the blockchain company's business and its standing with XRP community. Indeed, Ripple's newest product, Liquidity Hub, lacks support for XRP, causing outrage among the part of the XRP community. However, the blockchain company's general counsel, Stuart Aldertoy, explained it was an enterprise institutional product, not retail, and that regulatory clarity was not important to the enterprise customers. Having said that, Aldertoy confirmed that in the future, there might still be support for the cryptocurrency, stating that we are keen to support XRP and LH when we can provide a good customer experience. Seemingly, the lawyer was hinting at the possibility of introducing XRP after the court decision in the Ripple versus SEC case brings about more clarity in the sector. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So that update doesn't really seem like there's much update to the case. I knew that XRT was being sued. My brain was like, Ripple? What the hell are you talking about? When is a ultimate decision? Like, has it even had a trial yet? So this comes around was what a security is. So the SEC has recently named 6 crypto assets as securities: Dash, Algorand, OMG Network, Monolith, Naga, IHT, and so it's the Ripple guys that sued to be like, we're not a security, we are a currency, whatever. I don't know what they're trying to say, but it's a security. Yeah, I mean, if it trades like security, it's a security. It's none of these cryptocurrencies, I think, are actual currencies. Pretty much all of them are securities of some kind. And securities of what, really, though? Like, it's not stock in a company. It's just some ones and zeros that you can move around the world and have value because people think they have value. It's a weird situation. Because they don't act like currencies. You aren't using it to, like, go buy groceries. You're like, oh, I'm going to put some XRT on that one and buy myself a loaf of bread. That's not how it's working. You're like, I'm going to take this wealth I have in the United States and I'm going to move it to Hong Kong, to the gang warlord. Or I'm going to use it to pay for a bunch of trafficked women off of this ship from Venezuela. Like, that's the currency use that it is. It's just a big giant swindle, man. Okay. I lost my place again. Okay, all right. Peachy Sunday, Houston. So if RC were to buy Bed Bath & Beyond, can we do call option play on it? You can always do a call option play. That would depend upon... It would only work if someone came in and bought them. If no one comes in and buys them, then the options will be totally worthless, just like all of your stock. 50-cent options for June 16th had a low today of 2 cents a share. So $2 per 100 options. Pretty good bet. Not too shabby. I mean, for $1,000, pick up 500 call options at 50 cents. And if the stock rockets, cool. If it doesn't, well, SOL, baby. That's where you are. So treat everything with Bed Bath & Beyond. Again, not financial advice, not financial advisor. Bed Bath & Beyond is a crapshoot. 100% total crapshoot. You may have a rescuer. The rescuer may fail. Then all that will be worth zip, zop, dip, doodle, nothing. Yeah. William Boer, will FINRA expelling Alpine Securities have a significant impact on the concentrated short position of GTII? Did FINRA expel Alpine? That's someone mentioned that earlier, and I did not heard. Alpine Securities FINRA. Orders Alpine pay $2.3 million restitution to customers. Alpine Securities, Matthew Iverson. FINRA expels Alpine Securities. Oh, this is from March. Oh, this is the old news stuff. God, get out of my way. I don't want to get out of my way. Okay. This is from March. FINRA hearing panel expelled Alpine Securities, a broker-dealer in Salt Lake City, in order to pay more than $2.3 million restitution to customers. Financial Industry Victoria Authority announced Thursday. According to FINRA's statement, Alpine converted and misused customers' funds and securities, charged its customers unreasonable fees and unfair prices, the securities transactions, engaged in unauthorized trading, and made an unauthorized capital withdrawal. So, what did it do? So, this doesn't really... Okay, after hearing the case for 19 days, FINRA panel determined $5,000 monthly account fee along with 1% per day liquidity fee and a $1,500 certificate withdrawal fee the Alpine charged were unreasonable. Panel cited Alpine's appropriation of customer positions worth $1,500 or less for a penny per position at 2.5% market execution fee resulted in unfair prices. Yeah, this has nothing to do with their crap they did with GTII. This has to do with them managing the money of people at extraordinarily high rates. So I don't know what it means for GTII in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, I mean they're bad actors in general, and it'd be such a bad actor for FINRA to go, "Whoa, you're messing with rich people right now, and you're not allowed to do that. You mess with poor people all day long. FINRA doesn't care about that, but you're messing with rich people right now, and that's a no-no. You cannot mess with rich people." So I don't know where it takes them for all their positions, naked shorting, GTII and others. But you know, Mormon's gonna do what Mormons do, I guess. Aaron Saltine, Houston. So what's your thinking on GTII short squeeze with Alpine Securities being sued by the company? 1800 Law Group have a deadline for the SEC to show their books they are short on. I don't know. I don't know. GTII is a weird one because on one side you got a lot of evidence that the Alpine and others were naked shorting like crazy. But usually when there's a lot of naked shorting, there's at least a lot of listed short positions. Like people admitting like, oh, I've got a short position in GTII. But the short positions, the admitted short interest is only like 3%. The days to cover is like 0.1 days to cover. So there's not been a lot of borrowing at all happening. So if it's all naked short selling, why is there no analogous borrowing happening? And a lot of that borrowing would happen because of FTDs and other things, you know, T35s that come about, and you have to like figure out some way to get some shares to cover your position. Does not seem to be happening. It's a very weird spot, I think. Very weird indeed. Video Brand Houston, you've not shaved in a day or three. Very out of character. I only shave about once every couple of weeks. So I should have shaved. When did I last shave, Monkey? 10 days ago? A week ago? Somewhere in there is the last time I shaved. I'll shave again in about a week. I hate shaving. So I just zip zop once every couple of weeks. Ever noticed your ring light before? You didn't notice? My ring light pops up when I stare at the ring light. There it is. Oh, when I bought the ring light, it was like, don't get this if you have glasses. Whatever. BBBY Brand Houston, with the emerging news about the ever-increasing probability of a huge earthquake off your coast due to the leaking fluid at the seabed fault. How should we feel about the big event? My guess is 50 to 100,000 dead. The island I live on will probably lose the ferry terminal and the bridge because the bridge is a piece of crap that's built in the 50s and it's just been getting beaten up ever since. So we'll be eating my neighbors. That's cool. I'm okay with that. Lots of bridges will go down. Lots of overpasses will go down. A lot of infrastructure. It'll be bad in Seattle and Portland. Along the coast will be a tsunami that will wipe out every coastal community. So if you don't get to high ground or get to a designated building that's designed to handle tsunami like that, get to the roof of the local elementary school that's designed to handle a tsunami, you're gone. You're wiped off. There's a lot of those communities, like if we bring up ye old Google Earth here. Google Earth. Boink. Let's leave the Mediterranean. Let's head on. Whoa. All right. Go to the coast. Like, if you're in some spots along the coast, like if you're along the Oregon coast, say here in Waldport, right? If you're along the river, that tsunami is going to wash right over the sandbar, wipe out everything up the river. But you do have hills nearby. So like this hill here is 100 feet tall. Down the coast, not much. But very quickly you can get up the coastline to the 101, and you'll be in a safe zone outside of the tsunami because you got hills that back right up to the ocean. But if you are in places like Westport or Long Beach Peninsula here, this is a 25 mile long stretch of sand. Some say it's the longest unbroken stretch of sand because there's no streams or anything that break the sand barrier. But the highest points along here are the trees at like 20 feet. So a 30-foot tsunami comes, every single solitary home, building, everything gets wiped out. So if you live here and it's like, oh, tsunami's coming, you try and get in your car and drive away, you're going to be in a traffic jam that gets wiped out and you're going to die in your car. If you try to run to the other side of the peninsula, you're getting wiped out as well. So what they're doing is they're rebuilding a lot of the schools along here to have like giant roofs at 30 feet above the ocean, heavy reinforced concrete, and they want people to go to the schools, get in there, climb the top, and hopefully the building will withstand the tsunami. It's not just places like Long Beach. You also have Westport, Ocean Shores, all in the same boat. Grays Harbor is going to get wiped out, so Hoquiam, Aberdeen, Junction City, Cosmopolis, those places are gone to tsunami, but they also have giant hills right next to them, so you can get up several hundred feet in a hurry and get out of the way of a tsunami like that. Same thing further up the coast. It's these spit communities. They're on these big sand spits. These are the ones that they've got nowhere to go. There are a couple of spots, like remember the videos from the Indonesia tsunami in 2004? People like up in their hotels, like watching the tsunami waters rush under them. There are a couple of larger hotels that in apartment buildings you can go to, and hopefully those will withstand the impact of a huge tsunami like that. If the earthquake happens in the winter, probably the best time, January, February. No one's out at the coast. Population's very low out here in the wintertime, so damage will be minimal. If it happens in July, when everyone's out at the coast, you could see 100,000 dead just from the tsunami alone. Because these beach communities up in the Washington, Oregon coast are full of people in the summer. That's a tourist season. That's when everyone's out there. So it happens like at noon on a Saturday when everyone's sitting on a beach sunning themselves. Oops, that's that. Bye-bye Lincoln City, bye-bye Newport, bye-bye all those places. But the good thing is the major cities are 100 plus miles from a subduction zone. So subduction zone to Portland is why aren't you telling me? 110 miles, 120 miles, right? Seattle to subduction zone, 143 miles. So there is distance between the cities where the earthquake would happen. It would be centered probably along here in the subduction zone. So while the shaking will be vigorous, the shaking will be like 10-15 minutes. It won't be the equivalent of a 9.0 in Seattle. It'll be equivalent of 9.0 along the shoreline for sure. But out here, it might be the equivalent of a 7. It's just a 7 that will be lasting for 10-15 minutes. And so that will be somewhat of a saving grace for most of the buildings in these areas. But the long shaking is what will do most of the damage. You get quick, boom, 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 it's over. The building's usually okay. But it goes, boom, 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 it doesn't end, and people are getting like motion sickness from how long it's shaking. That's when the buildings will just give up. They just start falling down. And Seattle's done a better job of reinforcing their older brick buildings than Portland. Portland still has like 16,000 buildings that haven't been reinforced. So Portland might be in a lot of trouble when that happens. I have no idea what building codes are like in Vancouver or Victoria, but Victoria will definitely get tsunamis coming in to the Straits 1 to Fuca. But, you know, all you can do is make sure you got a kit, emergency kit, you got some food and water for a few days, and hope for the best. And have some delicious neighbors nearby that you can eat if the best doesn't happen. Okay, I am. Rod Avoye, BC Building Codes have been doing seismic requirements for 11 years now. Well, there you go. And we're probably doing a more proactive job. And they have a lot more bigger, fancier, newer buildings built to code than I think Seattle and Portland do. Because the zoning in Vancouver is so weird. Because in Seattle, you build tall buildings downtown, you make everything else single story or single family homes, you know tall buildings are allowed. But you go to Vancouver, it'll be like a normal neighborhood in like a 30-story apartment building, and then trees, and then another 30-story apartment building surrounded by some single family homes. It's really weird looking to an American, but it seems to work and make for some really dynamic neighborhoods in and around Vancouver. You guys do you. That's all I can say. It's really interesting too. Like you get to you're driving up I-5. And you go to cross at the Blaine crossing, right? So you cross here at Blaine where the Peace Arch is. And there's a hill here, right? This hill right here. This hill here. And you see across the hill, there's skyscrapers. Like in White Rock, this town of White Rock has actual skyscrapers, like 20, 30-story tall buildings. And they're just sticking up out of the hill. You look back at Blaine, and like there's nothing like that over here. But immediately into Canada, White Rock has skyscrapers. The population of White Rock's like 25,000 people. It's not that big. Population of White Rock, BC. 19,000 people. So it's not even 25,000. It's 19,000 people. So about 20,000 people, and they've got skyscrapers. It's really, really, really weird as an American to see like this population of White Rock is smaller. This is White Rock here is smaller than my island I live on. And the tallest building here is 4 stories tall. But yeah, they've got full on towers and it's interesting. This is also where they filmed, Psych. So this was Santa Barbara for 8 seasons. That's why Santa Barbara has a bunch of rocky beaches, because they filmed it all here pretending it was Santa Barbara, California. But yeah, you go to Bellingham, right down here. Bellingham is about 100,000 people. No skyscrapers. Not a single one can be found. It's really interesting. Same thing with like Everett. Go down to Everett here. Everett's population around 100,000 people. No skyscrapers. You have to get to cities where there's like a couple 100,000 people. Seattle, Bellevue, Tacoma, to get anything taller than 10 stories. It's really wild how America does that. But the Canadians are like, well, we can put 10,000 people in this one building. Done. And they just do it. As a kid, I was always fascinated. So my dad lived in downtown Vancouver. We were in this round building right here. The Aquatic Center right here, which is a great place to like live right there, go across the street, play in the pool all day long. And then he built 88 Beach, which I think was this one, was the one he designed. Had 3 towers and a bunch of townhomes. But you look out from our building, even in the 90s, and you look across, you see like a whole other skyline, like way over here, another skyline way over here. It's gotten even bigger since then. It's like Burnaby's got a skyline. Where's West Glenbrook? Westminster's got a skyline. Sunbury, go across to North Vancouver's got a skyline. There's just skylines everywhere you look, just tall buildings all over the place. It's really, really weird as an American, like to see so many downtowns. Like, we just don't do it that way. On our brains, we think, oh, where downtown is, that's where we build skyscrapers, nowhere else. But they do it all over Vancouver. Okay. Monkey. I think my brain is done. I think I've overbrained today. And we will give the monkey butt treats. We'll make her happy for being a good dog. And then Houston's going to turn his brain off and eat some brownies he baked with some whipped cream, because that's the only way she can enjoy a brownie. And then, is this what you want? Is this what oh yes, she's so excited. Look at her, she's just grabbing for it. Gotta get it. Come on, you can do it. You're so gentle. You just be a little more aggressive. Just a pinch more. Just there it is. Yeah. Nom 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 nom. All right. Get the. Okay. All right, everybody. I know I didn't get to everyone, but I'm toast. I'll probably do an After Dark show on Friday, just so we can talk about whatever the New York court ruling is on releasing blue sheets from MMTLP. So let's see. They have to respond by sometime Friday, so we'll do a late night show on Friday and talk about that, right? Right, monkey? Want to give me a high five? Can I come give a high five for the end of the show? Give high five. Yeah, such a good dog. She's such a good dog. All right, everybody. Peace out, Girl Scout. I promise you next show there'll be no pinwheel swastika shirts. We're just not going to do that.